So in this video, I want to talk about a new anime that's airing called I'm Getting Married to a Girl I Hate in My Class, which just funny little story about this title of the anime. On my other channel, I cover news, which I'm doing more focus on this channel now going into this year. But I did a video talking about the release date for it, and everyone thought that I was actually getting married to someone I hate in my class because of the title. I was just like, it's really funny. It's not so much of an original concept, but here's the thing. I figured the title before I actually put my thoughts out there because of how I felt about this anime. Because when I watched it, it reminded me of two particular animes, Nisekoi and 100 Girlfriends. Now, before you smash the keyboard and go, I know some people will instantly know where I'm coming from when it comes to Nisekoi, but some people are going to be like, 100 Girlfriends, they're nothing alike. But let me cook, and then give me your opinion afterwards. So, hold on. Let me cook. So, of course, Nisekoi being the first one, Nisekoi is obviously the baseline story of sort of a Romeo and Juliet, two people that are polar opposites, different families, and they have to pretend to be in a relationship to stop their families from going to war. So they're like faking a relationship kind of thing to the class and everyone around them. And then as time goes on, they fall in love with each other. Surprise, surprise. And there are some other love interests in there. Probably not this extreme with this series, but the concept is there. The foundations are there. Slight variations because they're married in this one, and the two families aren't at war with each other. It's a grandma and a grandfather trying to live vicariously through these kids and say, hey, we wanted to hook up, but we went our separate ways because we hated each other, but we actually loved each other, and now we're going to force you to get married because we just kind of want to do the exact same thing, but this time make you get together. And then there's this blonde chick that clearly has a crush on him. I worked that out straight away when she's like, oh yeah, I have a crush on someone. Oh yeah, I'm totally nice to this other guy that you hate, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, clear, easy. Now, 100 Girlfriends. Why do I think of 100 Girlfriends when I watch this? And it's because of the humor. The thing about 100 Girlfriends is it doesn't take itself serious. It understands what it is, what it's trying to do, and who its market is. So it goes really over the top and fun and silly with the humor, as does this. And I got that feeling as soon as I saw the grandfather and how stupid the grandfather is and how stupid the humor is, in a good way. It's stupid in a good way, to be very clear. Because I love the way it doesn't take itself serious and it just throws dumb things at you and goes, here, we're gonna make it make sense. It's not realistic, but it's funny, and it's like it has grounded realisticness, but you know it would never work in the real world, but it makes sense, if you get my gist. So that's why I find it like 100 Girlfriends in the sense of how it structures its humor, in that it doesn't take itself serious, it goes outlandish, the characters in there can be really over the top, like the grandfather, like the grandmother, and how they're trying to force them together. They buy them a house, he's got a luxury car, every time he's on the phone, he's at some reason at the goddamn beach, chilling with his new girlfriend. It's like, it doesn't take itself serious, and I love that, because there are too many rom-coms out there that add tropes in and they're trying to be serious at, like, yes, this totally is a serious romance, and it's like, okay, we get it, you're gonna use all the generic tropes, like parents aren't ever home, randomly the girl's around his place, weird things happen, oh no, like all these kind of little bibs and bobs. This just goes, throw them all out there, let's have fun. That's why I see 100 Girlfriends and this kind of similar in the structure of the comedy. And then as far as the romance goes, it reminds me of Nisekoi from that point of view of them faking a relationship in front of people, and there's potentially other love interests that are also in love with him. That's why I think of those two. So now you kind of know the gist of the story, which is basically he is being forced to marry her because, well, if he doesn't, a dog's going to inherit the company, which is more funny because he has a sister that's kind of obviously very clingy, so there's going to be probably a sister complex in there. But I'm just like, why didn't he say this? But he probably wouldn't care if his sister inherited, because his sister would probably take care of him. So he's been forced into this marriage because he doesn't want a random dog out in the streets to inherit the entire business. Now, as far as the girl goes, I don't know. They don't explain, and she doesn't want to explain. I have a feeling it's something to do with his academics, because they kind of alluded at the academics as one of the reasons why she hates him. And I think it's because he's got a very lazy attitude about things, but for some reason he still gets top of the grades. So I think it's one of those where she tries hard but still can't beat him. He doesn't try, but he beats her in these academics areas. And maybe the grandmother's like, get close and you might be able to find out his secret, or something like that. Maybe something silly like that. And that's where it kind of is like a Trojan horse for her to get closer and closer and closer and realize that maybe he does really try. He just doesn't want to show that he's trying for some odd reason. That's my speculation on it. But so far, the concept of the story, like I said, is very silly, very much out there. That there's very clear that there's going to be this sort of progression of, yes, they hate each other. Yes, they're going to fall in love with each other. As time goes on, they'll draw closer. This is based on a light novel as well. I do like the art style. It's kind of charming. It gets done in some studios. Like, some studios go this art style, some don't. I think it works really well because it kind of really highlights the different looks for each of the girls, and each girl has a very distinct look and personality, so it doesn't feel like they all kind of blend together. And they very much throw a bunch of these girls at you very quickly. Like, within the first 2 minutes, they've thrown 3 girls at you and had him as well in the story, and kind of give you the basic rundown. And they kind of do a bit of a sort of a, what a lot of TV shows do now, where they show sort of partway through the episode and then they kind of go backwards and build up to that moment that led them to that argument and how they had that confrontation. And as I mentioned before, there's a chick that's friends with the girl that's married to him, that's a blonde, and my gosh, does she have some marvelous personality traits about her, 2 in particular that stood out to me. But clear, based on her interactions, she is one of the comedic reliefs, because she constantly talks about, like, oh yeah, just get married because it's cheaper to live there. And they're like, oh, but what about the, no, the thing? And then she has to scream it out on the phone. And it's like, oh yeah, just have 100 kids. It's like Japan's ultimate dream come true. Fidelity problems gone right in one fell swoop. A chick has 100 babies. That blonde chick, I believe, has a feelings for him, and she's probably going to be one of the first that finds out about their secret relationship, and it's probably going to cause some conflict, because obviously she has feelings. And that I could tell from that, because at the very beginning, when the main love interest chick that he's married to kind of has a go at him and rips into him and all this other kind of stuff, saying how repulsive he is, she's the one that's first to defend him and say, let be nicer to him. So when you add that up with the fact that she said on the phone that she's got a crush on someone, kind of twigged, they're in love. Or she's in love with him, not the other way around. Sister complex, that's obvious to twig just because of the clingy nature of it, and sort of the fact that they have a house now to themselves, but the sister's actually in one of the closing outros where she's got all this food and she's eating and the other one's clean. It's obvious that the sister will probably play a regular part in there. Don't know where the parents are. Probably will never see the parents. You'll probably just see the grandfather every now and again, probably rolling up in his nice fancy red car, sports car, going, hey, I got my new wife and you're gonna shack up and have some kitty kids, and he'll just trot. That's how I expect it. So I really love the kind of the building blocks already for this anime. So like I said, if you love Nisekoi, you love 100 Girlfriends, and you kind of want a hibernation, like them both having a child together, like what these two are going to probably end up doing, this is the anime for you. As of course, the tags are comedy romance, obviously, because one aspect I referenced as 100 Girlfriends reminds me of the comedy aspect, and Nisekoi for the romance aspect. So very much enjoy the beginning stages. Highly recommend it if that's what you're looking for. And I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What did you think of the anime? Have you read the light novel? What are your thoughts about the light novel without dropping any hard spoilers? So again, if you like this video, hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you beautiful nerds in the next video.